What's going on, guys? Stevie here. Thought I would just do a quick video today discussing, Fire Emblem Switch and whether or not we're going to be seeing any news about it anytime soon. Some of you asked me about, more recent leaks that have come out, whether I believe those, and I guess you just want to hear my thoughts about that kind of stuff. So, first and foremost, it is just over exactly 1 year since we actually received any news about Fire Emblem Switch. The original Nintendo Fire Emblem Direct took place on January 18th, 2017, and since then, we've got some kind of cryptic interview stuff that happened, which I'll go over later, but for the most part, we know just about nothing. So, honestly, though, I kind of like that. I think it's more interesting this way. I think it's more fun to have it a completely open and blank slate instead of knowing exactly what's coming, or even having a trailer. I mean, it was really cool how they came out last year with echoes, like right out of the blue. And I also liked the fact that we weren't just basically waiting for the game to come out, wondering if it was going to be good. Instead, it was just a huge surprise and a very pleasant surprise at that. And Echoes turned out really, really well, I think. So I kind of like the strategy that they're going for with this. And I'm kind of glad we haven't heard anything yet. But I do honestly feel like within the coming days, probably within the next month or two, I'd say, I think we're going to hear something about it, especially if it's going to be coming out this year. We don't know if it's going to be delayed or anything, but it does seem like it's coming out really, really fast. But they're definitely keeping things very, very close to the chest with this one, and I'm actually kind of glad that we don't have any, concrete leak information, because I think that kind of, spoils it a little bit, kind of ruins the experience. That's what happens with, all the Pokemon games. Everything gets dumped before the game actually comes out, and everybody already knows everything, and that kind of, in my mind, destroys all of the hype. So I'm kind of glad that the hype is still there, and we'll probably get some amazing trailer or something out of the blue, hopefully, and it'll blow us away. And I kind of get the feeling that now that I'm actually sitting here making this video, it's probably going to come out pretty soon after this, because, it'll just invalidate everything that I say or something. So anyway, a couple of weeks ago, we got another Fire Emblem Switch leak, or potential leak. Last November-ish, I had a video where I discussed with Mangs the Fire Emblem sort of vampire emblem gothic horror leaks, and at this point that's pretty much 99% confirmed fake. There are just too many red flags with that. The creator was just kind of going back and forth with people and, changing the story, adding more details every now and again really randomly, kind of fangirling and geeking out about stuff. And honestly, it just kind of seemed like that whole leak was just designed to please as many people as possible, and I don't honestly think, I would hope that the next Fire Emblem game would do that, but it just seemed like wishful thinking to the extreme, so I'm not shocked that that was fake. But it was really fun, having Mangs on and discussing that with him, and I think that that would have been a cool game in and of itself if we got that game, and if they pulled it off successfully. It's definitely a cool theme for Fire Emblem, I think. But anyway, with this theme, this is a proposed Fire Emblem pirate theme, basically, with the title of Fire Emblem Mutiny, with a launch date of May 4th, 2018, which, for me personally, I think that's kind of soon. We've definitely seen games before like Echoes. Echoes was announced, January 18th of last year. We got it in May. It was May 19th that it came out. So it's possible. So I guess that's kind of where they're, if this is fake, where they're coming up with that. And basically it says there's also going to be a Fire Emblem Mutiny special edition with Hazir and Bontessa amiibo, soundtrack CD, and coin, also released on 5/4/2018. So Fire Emblem with the pirate theme, I don't have a problem with the pirate theme. I think pirates are cool. A lot of people have bad memories and mental scars of the guide and boat maps and stuff like that. So I think if they were to do that, they'd have to really work on that and spruce that up so people didn't hate it, because, early game Celica's story, there's a lot of pirate ship battles, and while I don't hate it, it's definitely, not the best. So I think if they were to go that way, they'd have a lot of work, and they'd have to convince a lot of people that it would be good. But overall, I do think that the pirate theme can work with Fire Emblem. It is possible. And these names are a little bit weird, maybe a little bit too weird for Fire Emblem, even though Fire Emblem does tend to have some out there names. They do kind of tend to rein it in, though, and keep things, fairly, still fantasy-esque, but still kind of more simplistic. So Bontessa, that's just kind of a weird one for me. So Hazir and Bontessa are not the main protagonists in Mutiny. Hazir's sibling Preveza is. Hazir was banished from their kingdom for saving the life of a pirate, which is Bontessa. Hazir looks like a mix of Xander and Hector, but with a tan. That's a red flag already for me, because it's like, Xander and Hector, like, what does that even look like? And they were also sharing the Xander sort of pirate costume, the DLC image from Fire Emblem Fates, to go with this leak, which I think is kind of weird. Clearly the character's not going to be Xander, but I don't know. Xander and Hector, that kind of sounds like they're taking, like, the new, the fans of Fates, mixing it with the old school fans with Hector, and kind of putting it together. Once again, it's possible, but I don't think so. Montessa looks like Seren from the last story, with the picture included. If you do take a look at the picture, it is actually, you know, a pretty cool looking character, but bright pink hair and a red cape, okay. And Fire Emblem Mutiny will open the Direct. And basically all of this was contingent upon, you know, the Direct happening in a couple of days, which this was before we got the Nintendo Direct Mini. So this didn't actually really reveal anything about Fire Emblem Switch or anything. But another thing that's interesting about this leak is that it actually came out like 1 or 2 days before it proposed that a Nintendo Direct would happen, when this information would be proven true. And of course that came and went. We did end up getting the Nintendo Direct Mini. None of this is in it, of course. So that's pretty much confirmation that it's fake, but it's an interesting idea. And I do find it a little bit weird that the creator, you know, put effort into making this. There were more games in the list, which I think also did introduce some red flags, because there are a couple of weird things in there that people had kind of issues with that didn't seem real. Or were like wishful thinking once again. But why would you put forth like all the effort to make something like this and then just have it be invalidated in like 2 days? Maybe because they were worried about the real Nintendo Direct coming out, you know, within the next week or so. But that's just like, that's one thing that I don't get about these leaks, is it's like, maybe the person wants attention if it's a particular person on the website that's making and releasing these leaks. But aside from that, like, you're just wasting your time. And, you know, maybe it's fun to be a troll sometimes, but like, are you really trolling people? You're kind of trolling yourself, because it's just all fake and you're wasting like potentially hours trying to, you know, do mental gymnastics and come up with what would be realistic for them to release in this Nintendo Direct. So anyway, that's most likely definitely fake. So moving on from that, something that I thought would be worth mentioning is that there is a popular Fire Emblem Twitter account that I've been following for a while now. He goes by the name Oscar. It's a really good person to follow on Twitter. There's always Fire Emblem news, little tidbits and snippets here and there that I think are really cool. Always interesting thoughts and stuff. The only complaint that I would have is that this person, you know, pretty much constantly retweets some of their old stuff all the time, which is kind of annoying. But for the most part, really, really good stuff coming out of this Twitter account. And this user actually said that in the past they had a contact at Nintendo or Intelligent Systems, somebody that, you know, obviously has ties with other people. And we're able to predict some things in the past that turn out to be true. Obviously, I can't confirm that, so I don't really know. But this time around, apparently they are hearing some things, and he hasn't really revealed anything, thankfully. I'm kind of glad that he hasn't. He basically said that we would be hearing some news about Fire Emblem Switch pretty soon, and it does seem about right. I mean, the fact that it's past the 1-year anniversary of the last time we heard it, you know, for the main Nintendo Direct. We only had a Nintendo Direct Mini. Last time we had a Fire Emblem Direct because of all the games coming out for Fire Emblem and everything that was happening. We could see another Fire Emblem Direct in the coming days. That's possible. Basically, this Oscar person said that in the Nintendo Direct Mini, Fire Emblem would not be there because it just didn't fit, or I think thematically or something like that. He was saying basically it didn't mesh with that Direct, so obviously it's not going to be a part of that. Maybe that means that there will be a Fire Emblem Direct. I don't know. The fact that they're just not doing it on the 1-year anniversary exactly, I mean, that's not a problem. We'll probably end up seeing it within the next month or so, I think. I really do believe that, especially if we are going to be seeing it this year. So originally, Oscar had revealed that perhaps the new Fire Emblem information would be revealed in the Mini or whatever was coming, but he did go on to correct that later and say that, you know, the reveal isn't happening on the 18th, and it doesn't belong there either, and the broadcast on that day will be for other things. But he did go on to say that there is another in February where it would belong, though, along with a green dinosaur and an RPG involving slimes. So perhaps that would be when we're getting the normal Nintendo Direct. Maybe it won't be a Fire Emblem Direct this time. Maybe there's not enough Fire Emblem stuff going on behind the scenes to warrant a Nintendo Fire Emblem Direct. I don't know, but we'll just have to wait and see. So the only actual little snippet of information that we have for Fire Emblem Switch is actually a blurb from an interview with Mr. Kuzakihara of Intelligent Systems. He's a lead developer on the Fire Emblem series, and basically all he said was that characters in Fire Emblem Switch will have more realistic proportions and movements during battle, just like Fire Emblem Echoes. I mean, that much is pretty much obvious. We kind of know that's going to happen. They're probably going to continue with the Echoes kind of style of doing things as far as, you know, more realistic proportions. I mean, it's not a leap to assume that they're going to continue doing what they've done in terms of, you know, upgrading battle animations and the models and everything, and having things be more realistic in terms of how they attack and what they're fighting with and stuff. So not even really a big blurb there to go off of. Just not very much at all. But that's going to do it for this short video. Just wanted to have a quick conversation with you guys. Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear them. When we do actually get the real Fire Emblem Direct or the real Nintendo Direct that reveals the game, I will be sure to update you guys and make a video about that, so don't worry about that. Join us on Discord for further discussion, of course. Also be sure to follow us on Twitter because we'll keep you guys posted about the news there, and I'll see you in the next episode.